What is up, baby? It's Asada. And Gathering of the Griots is going to be hot today, baby. Black authors galore. Let me give props, though, to my girls, the female solution, because without them, we wouldn't even be here. If you don't know what the female solution is, you're going to know right now. Take a look, and we'll be right back with our first dope author of the day. Black History Style. Here we go.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. Here we go. Okay, so this is the vibe today. I'm so loving it. We are bringing on it might be like 10 authors or something like that. But guess what? We got our first author coming to the stage. This brother, he in transit, but he'll be following us and coming here to the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair from the East Coast, baby, New Jersey style, New York, New Jersey, all of that. Come to the stage, Mario Wright. What's up, my darling?
Peace, peace. Happy to be
Good
here.
to see you. Nice to have you. Thank you for coming in this morning because you obviously on the road. Where you going to work?
I'm slaving right now, yeah, in a truck, drive trucks and yeah.
All right,
Slave,
but you're not
slave.
driving though, right? You're
Nah,
not driving.
I'm in the passenger seat.
Okay, there we go. Well, let's not waste no time because we got so many authors and you are first grand author. Talk to us a little bit about yourself. I mean, why are you even flying in from the East Coast to our book fair?
Chicago. I've been meaning to make it out there for a while. The illustrator to my children's books is from Chicago. I haven't met her in person yet, so that was important to me. Then I heard about
Nice.
the book fair and perfect place to display and network and give my voice. So that's what I plan to do.
I love it. Yo, tell us a little bit about your children's books. Like, what's the inspiration behind the books? Because you're not talking about little ducks in the pond. Like, what's the focus behind your work?
So the janitor, the librarian is two books. No such thing as a bad child. It's a series, and pretty much just coming from a community that's pretty much I seen sink and us going through struggles and watching the kids I grew up with, including myself, go through these things and paying attention. I realized that we just needed some help and needed people to look after us. And so that's what the janitor and the librarian do. They look after the kids and paying attention to presenting, ways that, we could have got on better paths, through our missteps.
Nice. Now you got an organization as well, not just the books. Like I love this y'all because he not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. Let's get that clear. Look at your organization. Tell us a little bit about this organization, City Limits, Beyond City Limits.
Beyond city limits. Yeah, I founded it last year after a few years of facilitating groups, through my poetry books, through my children's books, and just feeling the need to be a mentor and guide the youth through storytelling, giving them, it wasn't until I was 30 something years old in prison, realizing that I could write, and just knowing that resources aren't always there for us. So providing myself as a resource to the youth to show them everything. I recently gotten back into college. These are my first jobs I'm having at 37 years old, other than businesses and things I've done on my own. So, and it's because we don't see these things. Prison and violence and drugs is the norm sometimes in our communities. So, yeah, just
Now
provide,
I
provide my,
love look
go
what
ahead.
you did. I'm so sorry. You making me excited with all this. I'm like, look at the variety, y'all. He's rocking the children's books, but then you talked about your poetry books, Poetic Freedom. Talk a little bit about this work. When did it come out? Y'all gonna see all of this when you come to the Black History Book Fair. Mario Wright rocking from. Are you from Jersey or you New York? I'll be trying to give you New York.
I'm from East Orange, New Jersey. That's the North
Yeah.
area, right outside of New York City.
Got you.
I do a lot of my work in New York City, all the way down to
Got you.
DC, and hopefully Chicago.
Awesome.
Uh,
You
my
know it.
po-
It's coming.
my poetry books is pretty much, me discovering my ability to stick up for myself and express myself. So, when you, like you said, you see these things that oppress our communities, mass incarceration, violence, oppression, you know, I found my way to advocate and put my own life into perspective, and then seeing that other people can relate to it and take to it and it can help them too. That's what it became for me, a tool to educate others.
Nice. And then look at this. We got more, y'all. He not playing with you. He don't have just one thing. You got poetic freedom too. What's burnt cookout music about? That's what's the vibe on that?
But that's a book of short stories. You see a lot of things in your community, so you think about a cookout, the things you might see. So I just called it burnt. We say burnt out up here, like, oh, that was burnt out. So I just think about like a lot of the things I've seen throughout my life and made short stories out of them. Everybody in my neighborhood don't connect with necessarily poetry, unless it's rap. So finding another way to reach them was the short stories, and I found that very productive. Like when I go into youth centers, you know, with the kids, them short stories help them, want to tell their stories and write. That's been very successful with the kids in the youth centers.
Nice. Yo, we got a comment already. Naima Latif, she's actually the CEO of the Female Solution, says, how powerful is that to write children's books after being in prison? Clearly, you actually are setting the example, brother. I appreciate you so much because this country, we've been in prison since we came over, period. Like that's a reality. They could either put you in a physical building or not, but the way we've been treated is reflective of that same mentality. And so to show our people and other young people, yo, this is not the end. This could actually be the beginning because this looks like something that pushed you. It was like helped your trajectory out in the world. And so it's like you're living a purpose filled life. And I really appreciate you for that big time, brother, no doubt. So let me just show y'all something. This brother will be coming to Chicago, not just for the book fair, but do you know he's going to be performing also that Saturday night? Let's get that up, baby, and let them look at that. So what's up with this? What you going to be doing with this?
Uh, this is the poetry event, the open mic. I'm gonna just use the platform as a place to introduce myself, introduce my work, and share a couple pieces, and
Nice. Yeah.
hopefully
Go ahead.
meet some dope poets. I have to hit like an open mic every city I go to.
Nice. Nice. Well, this is a dope city for that. Chicago is a literary cornucopia of writers. And I'm talking about for the Lorraine Hansberries or your Gwendolyn Brooks, Richard Wrights. It's a lot of Black writers that come out of this space. Like we said on the phone, I might make you want to move here, baby. Don't get it twisted. I'll make you love Chicago coming up in here. But thank you so much for being here today and taking your time. Y'all see we rocking even in the truck style. But we'll see you on the 15th. That's on Sunday. No, we'll see you before that because we'll see you on Saturday performing too. And thank you for being here on Gathering of the Griots. Mwah! Continue working strong
For
today.
the great work that you do, and all the other writers and everybody. Peace.
No doubt. Peace. Thank you. I love it, y'all. Y'all playing games. You see how we rolling, y'all? Do you see how we're rolling? I love this energy. I'm not going to waste no time. I'm going to bring on our next author because the brother is rocking in terms of what? Homie speaking other languages up in here. He's speaking Mandarin. I'm bringing to the stage. I like to call him Ra, but that's Rasan Liddell. Look, he put the characters in there. I don't even know where to type those characters on the doggone computer. Talk to us. What's up, brother? Good to see you this morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. It's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for
No
having
doubt. So talk to us. What's up? How? How did this happen? How do we get a black man teaching Mandarin, having a book about it? Talk about it. What was the foundation behind bringing out the book?
Yeah. So again, thank you for having me on. The foundation behind the book. So as you stated, I'm a Chicago-based educator, and I'm the author of Mandarin for the Culture, a cultural passport from the Shy to Shanghai. And I wrote the book because most language learning materials don't reflect Black students at all. Okay. What I'm saying is that you rarely see African American characters in language learning books. You rarely see African American families. You don't see African American speech patterns. And so when it comes to world language textbooks, when students don't see themselves in the book, they have a tendency to disengage. So this book, it flips that. It teaches beginner Mandarin through a familiar language. I use African American vernacular English, okay, throughout my book. We have everyday situations, we have illustrations that feature African American students. My illustrator is an African American. But more importantly, everything in this book, it reflects Black life. And the reason for that is because when the students, see themselves in the pages, right, the learning feels, relevant to them. It,
Yeah.
it, it, it makes it worth investing
Yeah.
on their part. So that's
Right.
that's the idea behind it. You
Oh, I
know,
just love that. I love that because it's so rare. We got Spanish, Spanish Harlem, we got that. But
yeah.
no, baby, the Mandarin, we don't have that tie. All I know is a little shay shay, baby. That's all I know. Shay
Oh,
shay.
shit. You're right. Shit,
I used
shit.
to go get me some Chinese food, and I say shay shay at the end or in the beginning, so they treat my food right. Now, talk about global pathways real quick because you
Mhm.
went beyond the book, and you have this organization that is in our systems and working with our kids. Talk about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Global Pathways is an education and cultural organization that's centered on Mandarin language, Chinese culture, and global citizenship. And essentially, what we do is we help students build language ability. We help them to build cultural fluency, and probably most importantly, Asada, we develop confidence in our students so that they have the confidence to engage with the world beyond their immediate environment, if you will.
Gotcha. Right.
So I created Global Pathways after spending 10 years in China and
Mm,
then returning here to Chicago to teach. And you know I saw what happened was that I saw there was a gap.
yeah.
Okay, there was a gap between global opportunities
Hmm.
and who has access to those opportunities, right?
Got you. Got you.
Yeah, so this work exists exclusively to close that gap. And as you said, I speak Mandarin, and I can say, you know, as an African American that speaks Mandarin, I know how important and powerful representation is. So, when students see someone who looks like them, someone who looks
Yes.
like them doing the work, it changes what they feel is possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got a comment coming on. Hold
Yeah.
on. We got Higher Learning Network. What up? Zelda Speak says, "Thank you for being such a great influence and inspiration for our next generation." Awesome. I love it. Let me say this, brother. I got to put you on the spizot.
So,
I gotta have a black man say something in
oh,
Mandarin. So let me figure. Let me see if I could quiz. Let me see. I want you to say, "I can't wait coming to the Soulful Chicago Book Fair on Sunday." Say that.
OK，我现在很高兴，我知道我马上到Chicago Book Fair，我要看你们讨论很多东西，我很高兴看见你们马上。
Yo, you know what's so dope about that? I can't even say, "Oh, he said that right." I don't even care. All we know is we got a brother
Yeah,
rocking, coming on, talking that talk. You be like, wait a minute. So, I just love that energy tremendously because um the world,
yeah,
how come we got to be able to communicate with the world?
yeah. That's
You
true. That's
understand?
true.
And
Yeah.
and a lot of people, I don't in Chicago, Chicago's very large. A lot of people don't
Mm,
really know how large it is. But I remember when I taught on the west side and the
mm,
south side, but my west side students had not been to the south side. and
Wow.
vice versa. And
Mhm.
so we just talking about their city. So what you talking about the world? I
Yeah.
was able to take some of them lovely gangbangers to Africa in 1997 to get them to see the world. And so the work that you're doing, exposing them to this part of the world,
Mhm.
Hercules, 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 Hercules.
Yeah.
I just love it so thoroughly. What do you think you tell me a little bit about future? What do you see for your future doing this work
Yeah.
in
Well,
what
mhm.
what that means to our community?
Yeah. Well, for example, right now, I just started a program with one of the Chicago public schools where we have an after school program where we have students that can come there to study Mandarin. We do have an office space. I do have an actual Mandarin culture studio located here on the south side of Chicago in the Beverly community. Where we offer courses in Mandarin. And we also, again, we also not only do we focus on the language, but we also focus on the cultural aspects of it. For example, the Chinese New Year is coming right around the corner. So what we're doing is we're going to be hosting an opportunity to teach students how to write calligraphy. We also are going to have an opportunity for students to learn how to make Chinese jiaozi, which are dumplings, which is a very popular dish surrounding the Chinese New Year. So we're going to continue to develop our programs both internally and externally, hopefully developing some partnerships with Chicago Public Schools
Okay.
soon. But if I could just, focus on one thing, Asada, before we go, and
Come on,
as it
come
relates
on.
to
You got some time, baby. You got some time. I'm giving you time. Come on, I give a brother time. Come on.
Okay, I appreciate that. I just, kind of want to say that when students see themselves reflected in the curriculum, and that's the
Mhm.
focus of the curriculum that we're developing, which is a curriculum that I would like to have throughout the country. When students see themselves reflected in the curriculum, the learning becomes accessible. That increases, like I said, their confidence. It also increases their engagement. And when they see themselves in the book, they believe that the content was made for them, and they believe that they're not just a part of the city of Chicago, like you stated, but they're part of the global community. And lastly, most traditional language learning books, they assume that the student doesn't look or sound like our learners. Most of these books, right? So when they finally see themselves represented, the subject doesn't feel foreign to them. And that's the
Yeah.
major focus and push behind this book.
Nice. I love it. You guys, y'all see that website down there? Stop playing. It is his name. You ain't got to look far. His name, boom, 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 Rasan Liddell. I was
Yeah.
kind of reading like should no, Rasan Liddell. Stop playing. .com. And your books can be found there. What else? Is there anything else that they can find on that website to connect to
Mhm.
your workshops or anything like that?
Yes, absolutely. There's a link to in addition to everything that I've just mentioned on my major website, there's also a link to our organization, Global Pathways Education. There's a link right on that page. And on there, you can find all of the information as it relates to our programming here, as it relates to our book, also our upcoming opportunities to engage.
Okay.
And our courses will begin in March. So we're registering for those as well.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here, brother. We are gonna be loving seeing you guys come to the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair at Little Black Pearl. You will meet my man Rasan in
Yes.
the flesh. Now,
Yeah.
am I? Yeah, let me say it right. Rasan, did I say that right?
Yeah. Rasan. Yep.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I
That's
want to
it.
make sure. Don't be
Yeah.
messing it up. So anyway, you want to meet Brother Rasan on Sunday, getting this book, delving into a culture that we don't connect with often. And I'm glad you're here, brother. I'm glad you're working. Glad you came back to the shop. Hey,
Yes. Yes.
China cannot have you no more. There's that. Thank you so much. I
It's my
love you
pleasure.
and appreciate you. And I'll see you on
See
Sunday.
you Saturday. Oh,
All right.
sorry, Sunday morning. Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Sunday morning, baby. Okay, have a good one.
Thank you.
Peace. You got it. All right. All right, y'all. We're going to move it right along, baby, because I'm going to tell you right now the authors are in tow. Who am I bringing up next? He might not be ready, but I'm going to make him ready right now. This is my man, Tony Lindsay. Tony Lindsay is a veteran of the Soulful Chicago Book Fair. I'm talking about since we started. The brother has been in my life. I'm bringing him to the stage right now. What up,
Hey,
Tony?
what's up, Mr. Sada? How are you, dear?
I am so loving that you're here. Thank you for taking the time out to
Oh,
be here with us because, yo, let me tell you, when I think of Tony, y'all, he supports me in everything. I don't care. Every time I turn around, I'm doing an event, he is there. I don't even know if you ever miss one. I'm not too
I
sure
try
about
not
that.
to. I try, really
I'm
try
trying to
not
say you've always been here, so I do appreciate that. Now, Tony, talk a little bit to us because you are a bona fide fiction writer, baby. Y'all don't know the deal. Let me just bring him on. Let's bring up his books so that y'all overstand. He has a plethora of titles. Talk to us about when did you start fiction writing, and how come you chose fiction over nonfiction? Because a lot of Black writers are nonfiction writers because we
to.
have the life and the seriousness of whatever. But what is the background behind you choosing to become a fiction writer, and how long have you been doing it?
Well, I was, fortunate enough to be exposed to writing in school. I went to a school called Copernicus, and Nora Blakely worked there, which is was
Oh,
Gwendolyn Brooks' mother. So we were as we were fortunate enough to see Black writers as children, and that's
right.
when it got into my mind. She told us to write stories. We wrote stories and poems, and she told us all we were good writers, and I believed her. So that's pretty much how it started. I was fortunate enough to be published in 2000 by a press called that was Black Words, and we met at a Gwendolyn Brooks Writers Conference. So it's been all a Chicago story from the start. And that's what I do. I choose fiction because it allows me to be creative with getting a point or a message across. Um, so that's pretty much how
Look,
I
I'm
got
like this. I'm just
started.
walking like. So you have a series, and then you went in other directions
Mhm,
with your writing. Talk a little bit about your series. I'm gonna show that picture again because you got one dead preacher, one dead doctor, one
mhm.
dead activist. So talk a little bit about that series for a minute.
So the one day it came about as a way to get published. Actually, I was told that to get published, I needed to write a mystery. So I wrote One Dead Preacher, and sure enough, it was published. And then I did One Dead Lawyer to back that up, and then I did One Dead Doctor and One Dead Activist. And people really liked the main character, David Price. This is the last in the series, One Dead, not the last, but the most current, One Dead Activist. The character David Price lives in Inglewood, and people really like him, and it was easy to stay with the series. But I wanted to write a different mystery that didn't depend on David, just to see. And I wanted to experiment a little bit with it. So what I did was I wrote What If I Don't, which has more than one protagonist. There's several protagonists, and it actually has what's called a book one and a book two. So it is me stretching out a bit in fiction. It's a good story. What if I don't? And that's why I did the mysteries. But I've also written street lit. I've got More Boy Than Girl, Chasing It. So I've written street lit titles as well, and I've dove into speculative with Urban Affair and Melody Night, which is the latest speculative piece. People have you've got that on stage now. People have been comparing it to Sinners, and I think Sinners should be compared to it because this book was out a long time before Sinners.
You better
Actually,
say that
right,
precursor. Don't
right.
get it twisted.
Yep, I think this was first. And then I've
That's
got
right.
I'm also going to have it on Sunday. I'm going to have Three Married Women in Her with me as well. This is the book that I've had more book clubs read this than any other book I've written. So I get a
Wow.
lot of email, a lot of love and a little hate too, but mostly love, mostly love for it. Um,
Got you.
but these are
We got a
these are
comment.
the,
We
say
got a
again.
comment. Hold up. I ain't trying to cut you off, but people
No,
are commenting. Look at this. Hold on. Let me see what this says. Because of Tony is a non isn't, let me get this right. Because of Tony, is nonfiction writers now have new insights to also add fiction for more creativity. Phenomenal young man he is. That's Tony. Yeah. That sounds like a fan. Go ahead, higher
Well,
learning.
thank you
Thank you, my darling.
so much.
Look, when I'm reading those, I'll be looking for, is it a comma there? Is there, and so it's just how I pace it. So y'all can tell Tony is the real deal when it comes to his expression of writing. He's like, I've done speculative and I've done some. Can you just give a little bit of what speculative fiction is?
Oh,
Because people may
sure.
not know that term.
It's not um, reality, although it takes realistic situations,
Okay.
and we use, like, you have a witch, you can have a vampire, you can have a zombie in in a realistic story.
Got
So
you.
it's taking what could happen and just adding um, some creepy stuff, if you will,
Some
or
supernatural, creepy,
exactly,
kind
exactly.
of science fictiony, maybe, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, I did it with a book called Prayer of Prey, which was retitled Street Possessions,
Okay.
and I gained and lost fans with that. So
Oh, why? Why do you think that is?
well, people were like, they were used to mysteries, and so when I
Okay.
gave them something different, the same thing with when I wrote Chasing It, right? It had a transgender protagonist. The
Oh,
same
and
thing with More Boy Than Girl.
okay.
It was someone who didn't fit into a binary, and so, and people aren't always comfortable with something different, but um, they hung in there and they came back and they bought another book and another book. So it's
Nice.
been okay. Yeah, it's
Nice.
okay. So the newest one, What If I Don't, really will, it challenges people. And some of the email was like, why did you do that? And you got to read it to figure out what the that was. I mean, I've got that question at least 15 times through emails now.
Wow. I love that. So you feel the suspense, you
Hmm.
see the diversity. So look, y'all, you could either be on speculative fiction mode. But what you want to do, you want to rock some transgender jams? You literally can come in here because people don't think that our books and speak to everyone. And I just find that although we are Black writers primarily, you're going to see so much about the slices of life
Oh, yeah.
and all of the experiences. And the fact that you as a writer do that, it's like you are creating a Tony Lindsay following. What is Tony Lindsay doing next? I love that. How many books, before we're going to go to commercial break soon, but how many books have you written so far, my darling?
Wow. I would say probably 13, 14 that have been published. I've just finished the latest one earlier this week. It's another speculative piece, and then I'm already got the idea for a new mystery. So
Ooh.
yeah, yeah.
I
Writers,
love how a I love
so
how a fiction mind works because I don't really understand how a fiction mind works because you have to continue to not be in reality and create something that seems real. That's deep to me. The ability to do that.
it's
Oh,
fun.
look, you said it's fun.
It's fun. It's fun. It takes up a lot of time.
Nice. Hey, but look what you're doing. No idle time. Keep creating. We got a comment
Yeah,
here. Naima says, thanks. That's what a great author does. Helps us understand the diverse human experience. There
that's
you
true.
go.
Thank you. Thank
There
you.
you go.
So
Tony
I'm gonna have
Lindsay.
them all for you on Sunday. Come on out.
That's right. This is the Black History Book Fair this Sunday at Little Black Pearl. We'll talk about it more, but they can get your books today. They ain't got to wait till Sunday. They can go right to Amazon and get any of your titles, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
Just search my
Yes.
name and they'll all pop up.
Look, type in his name. See that? And they will all pop up. That's what you want. So definitely. And look, you can go buy them right now on Amazon and come to the book fair to get it signed. How about that if you're in Chicago? So thank you so much,
No,
Tony. I
thank
love you
you
tremendously.
for all that
And
you do.
I look forward to seeing you on
Be Sunday.
Sunday
And
and
it
rocking and rolling and pulling them in. So
is.
yep, and go put this video on your page. I try to do it during the break, but it's okay. Put it on your page so that they can come and revisit you in this video.
That sounds great.
Have a good one.
You did. Thanks for all you
Peace.
do. Bye-bye now.
All right. Thank you, baby. Peace. Oh, I just love it. Look at all of the energy. I love it. Well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to go to a commercial break. But when we come back, we'll be letting you know a little bit more about the event. And we got some more dope authors ready for you. So let's just take a little break. Don't go nowhere, though. Don't go nowhere because we'll be right back with more. Okay? Peace. Love you.
Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair.
Hey family, this is Charles Humphrey of MCH Publishing, and I'm here with Ashada, and we at the Soulful Chicago Book what?
This is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, slamming.
We getting down in Hyde Park. Just run it down, my sister. Just tell us, for the people, a little bit about what we're doing here today and why.
You know, this is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair, and this month is very important. I feel like we don't give it the type of recognition that it needs. But beyond that, I do all things literary, and we have so many ancestors that have taken a tradition of writing and done great things. Well, we have those of us that are carrying on that tradition, and nobody knows about them until now. So the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair is allowing us to tell our stories according to ourselves for our own benefit. And it's just beautiful. I mean, you could have been here today if you wasn't here, but if you were, it's been amazing. People came in consistently, children, and we have children's authors, we have nonfiction authors, we have fiction authors. This is really good, and it's about taking our own power in our own hands and doing what we do on the literary tip, though.
Right.
I got to work, but I can't help it. Everything going to school. And I just about bring my African shit like this. Bring in the African shit. Y'all see that? It'd be a straight book party. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We're going to be coming up, and let me just show you a few things so you know that we are for real. We really do have a lot going on. Literally events. I already talked about my man Mario's event that previous Saturday night. So we got that. But during the web, look at this. Look at this. Let me put myself to the side so you can see this. We literally have these Birds World Publishing workshops. Oh, if you are a writer and you need a publisher, nonfiction primarily, you go to see this sister. She is looking for people to come up and sign up with her. Go ahead and get yourself vetted and see if you can roll with her. But look at the different beautiful events coming up. So definitely we love Heather Bird. Birds World Publishing will be in the house doing workshops that start at 12. So that's the thing. Now, if you don't know where this is, it's at a place called Little Black Pearl. There is the promo right there, baby. Look, and let me look at that address. Let me see if I could get the address up here a little clearer for you. There we go. Little Black Pearl. I think that's 1060 47th Street. It's basically on 47th and Greenwood, y'all. So this is the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair. It's such a beautiful building. Look at this. On the outside, look at the outside, baby. Wait, let me get it. Let me not tap it off. Let me tap it on. Look at that. You tap and sometime it goes. Look at that. On the outside, y'all. Look at my man Carver on the outside of the building, period. They have what's called the Carver Cafe there. And if you didn't notice, just look at the bottom. Do y'all see those places where you could donate? We love doing these events, but they do cost. Just to let you know, they cost. So if you want to make a donation, please do. We got our Cash App there, boopity boop, and we got our Zelle there. That's just the title of my book, my first book. But look at the inside. That's the outside, but what about the inside? Beauty. Y'all are going to be up in that beauty. Look at the inside of that. That's right, Little Black Pearl. And we are inviting none other than, look, Greenwood Apartments. They are across the street from the Little Black Pearl facility, and we welcome you. And the reason why we welcome them, guys, they are part of our sponsor, POA, the Preservation of Affordable Housing. So, ooh, I just love it all. Let me make myself big again. So we have our next writer coming in, y'all. She is at work, but she's here for us. Let's meet her. Asia, what's up,
Hey,
beauty?
good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy, I'm at work right now schedule, my darling. Tell us a little bit about your books. I'm going to bring them up while you're talking. When did you start writing and what is the focus of your work? Because you do mainly fiction, I believe, but a little children's. Talk about it, baby.
Okay, so actually, I started writing when I was in grammar school. I've started writing short stories and poems and things of that nature. Later on, and gravitated to me wanting to write an actual book. So, Life's Roller Coaster actually was the first book that I started writing in 2012. However, I didn't publish that one until 2021. I actually published my one of my anthologies, Bittersweet, in 2019 after receiving my first master's degree, my MFA in creative writing. After that, I later published Mouth Wide Shut, which is also a anthology. And then most recently, I'm proud to say, I stepped out of the box, jumped out of the box, and I published my first children's book, which is called Hello Summer. um, a friend of mine's daughter kept saying, "Okay, you're a writer. You need to write something for the kids." So it took me a couple years to get it together, but yeah, here we go.
Here we go. Y'all feel me? She's going to be at the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair. And I love that you stepped out of the box. That's such a challenge, right? To go. Because when you, like I just said, when you write in fiction, you got to already step outside of your mind into a world that's not real. And then,
Yes,
a lot of it is based on life stuff, but the ability to put it in a package that other people can have. Oh, I love it. And she has very compelling titles and compelling images. You'll see
thank
them
you.
in our promo, yeah, no doubt. But you'll be able to meet her, get her autograph. Children, you'll be in the fiction second section primarily, though, right?
Okay, I believe
That I'm
so.
at. You'll be okay. So if you fiction is your thing, you'll see her children's book, but we're not gonna put her in the children's section. She'll be in the fiction, but you'll be able to see it. But I love because we love to put people where their main genres are. And even though you're a multi-genre author, we
Yes.
definitely want to. That's right. We definitely want to have people who want the fiction to come and experience the work. So, what would you say, real quick, is the future for your books or you as a writer? Do you will you be teaching others how to write? Will you like, or are you just let's just make this a bestseller? What's the future for your books?
Okay, so thank you for that, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys. So come on out on Sunday. This is a huge opportunity, and in terms of the future, well, actually, this year I'm actually going to be filming my TV pilot, which is an adaptation to Life's Roller Coaster, and I will be having a movie premiere for that. So stay tuned and look forward to that. In addition to that, I am an adjunct instructor. Where I teach English 101. I also have a non for profit called Creative Minds Writing Workshop. Right now, I work with a few prisons, which I can't say, and I kind of want to give back and give those different inmates, help them to find their voices. So
Mm,
from that, I'm trying to help them like do different poetry contests and things of that nature and teaching them just the different aspects of writing overall. And like I stated, I am an adjunct instructor as well.
I love that. I ain't even know nothing about the workshop. I just made that. I just figured, look, she doing all this. She must be teaching. So I love to hear that you actually have that in place. You actually
Yes.
have a movie in place and all of that. Mwah, you are phenomenal. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Do your thing today, baby. This is a great way to start your workday. I'm famous. That's what my job is, to help make you famous, darling.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited about Sunday. It's going to be a huge turnout, and I'm looking forward to seeing you and all of you guys. It's going to be a success. You don't want to miss it.
You
Clock
don't.
it. Clock
Look,
it.
I love it. I gotta learn that. All the young people be teaching me that. I love you, baby. See you on Sunday for sure. And thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thanks. You love you too. See you Sunday.
Okay,
Bye.
see you Sunday. Bye bye now. All right, y'all. Come on with it. Y'all see it. I'm bringing them on left and right, right and left. And they are in tow. So I'm going to bring my next girl on. Oh, Johnny, baby, you better be ready because I'm getting ready to bring you on. Lay it out. Here we come. Don't get it twisted. Here, look, y'all. Let me see. Boom. How are you, darling?
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for coming on. Thank you so much for even coming to the book fair? How did you find out that the book fair was here? Because you've never been with us before. How did you find
Yes, so
me?
I was searching on Facebook and I was looking for something else, and yours looked better. So I signed up for yours.
You better get ready. Now, y'all, look, here's the deal. She did this book, Brilliant Black Scientists and Inventors. It's so funny because when I promoted you authors, I say more Black author brilliance, like just out of the womb, out of the, just coming out the sky. But here you are, boom. Talk a little bit about your why. Why did you choose to do this book with this subject matter?
So I am a homeschool mom. I've been homeschooling since 2020, and I wanted something that I could use with my kids to homeschool. And me being an art teacher and experimenting with digital art and AI and all those things, so I created this book, and surprisingly, people really liked it. And so just since then, I've been experimenting, creating more books like this and illustrating books for other people.
Oh, y'all playing games. We got an illustrator. See, this is the importance about you. You could have a lot of competition out here because AI is doing all this other stuff, and a lot of people are scared. No, don't be scared. Just be
Mm-mm.
excellent. Just
Yeah.
create what you want. So how do you balance what's coming, this whole AI piece, but the fact that you're an illustrator? Can people hire you to illustrate their books? Talk about that.
Yes, absolutely. People can hire me to illustrate their books. I've illustrated for all of my life, but then I would say around 2019, I became serious about digital art. So using apps like Procreate and Adobe and things like that. And then around, I would say 2022, I was introduced to AI, but it's just a tool. And if
Yeah.
you just use that as a tool to kind of make your work faster or come up with concepts, it really does help.
Got you. Don't be scared. Y'all out there
Mhm.
being scared like somebody gonna take your job. If
Right.
you're talking about somebody taking your job, that means you're not doing your job to me.
Exactly. You have
Or
to
else
embrace the technology.
that's right. Embrace the technology. See, and so when you come to the Black History Book Fair, y'all, you definitely want to look for this book. Come on, it's Black History. What brilliant Black scientists and inventors? What is the age group for this particular book? Like people that have children at what age specifically will read this and understand it?
Well, it's more of like an activity book. So
Okay.
you're supposed to use this with researching other books for Black history and Black inventors and things like that. So the kids get to research different Black scientists and inventors and write and draw and different things inside of the book.
I love that. Well, honey, I want to say thank you so much for being here this morning, taking this time out to tell us about your book. You guys, make sure you get this book. Let me show it again, baby. Look for Johnny Doll at in the children's section of our Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair. This is so apropos. You probably have people that are going to be like, "Where's that Black History book?" And so, yep, y'all met the author. You'll be signing the book, correct?
Sure, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And if you need an illustrator, meet her as well, because where would you look for a person other than at the Soulful Chicago Black History Book Fair?
Right,
We got
right,
all
right.
things literary. So thank you so much for being here this
Thank
morning.
you.
I'll see you on
Bye.
Sunday in the morning.
Bye
And
bye.
let's get it rolling. I appreciate you. Peace. All right. Oh, baby, we gonna keep it rolling. My next sister. Ooh, talk about Black history. She taking it to the next level. She taking it to the emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Nah, but that's not Bob Marley. Let me bring on my girl, Dr. Santiwa. What's up, Doc?
And blessings. How are you?
I'm loving life and so happy to see you. You know what I love about our relationship is that it starts not now. It starts when you was a little booby boo boo. I
I
think I was
know.
in college. What was that? Were you in high school when I was in college?
Yeah, I was.
I love it. But now you're a grown woman. Talk to us about your book, baby, because you got the queen behind you. But tell us about the book that you wrote and why you wrote it.
All right. So you may know if you've been in Chicago for a minute that there was a festival here in Chicago called Selassie Day.
Yes.
They
Okay.
really recognized the emperor. It was really nice. And to some degree, it happens around the city still. But there was nothing for his wife for a long time. And um, I went to the Virgin Islands and I saw sisters just like organized doing things for the empress. And I was like so impressed. And I was like, we're going to have to bring this to Chicago. And we started at the Quaker House and it was great. But what people let me know was that there was not enough information about Empress Menen. Like they were just like, who is she? Like what? How do I connect to her? You know, there was just not enough. And so this book really came out as a response to what the audience was asking for, but it has become so much more than that, really, insofar as it really gives a comprehensive sweep of Ethiopia, 1935 basically to 1941, when the empress was really most visible in the limelight. And one of the things I found was like Chicago Tribune had covered her many times. New York Times covered her many times. And then the smaller papers all around the United States, the Chicago Defender. I'm like, so it is like in the 1930s and 40s, people loved this couple. They were like the first Black power couple on the
Wow.
scene. And I don't know, in some way they drifted out of memory for us. People point to like Brown versus Board of Education as that point where Black people stopped looking externally to the world to see what was going on. Like, where else could I be happy in the world? Like, you know what I'm saying? And they're looking internally, like, how can I fit into a society that has made it clear that I don't belong here? But don't worry, we have filled that gap. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have brought the name of the Empress back up, and people are loving her. One of the things that came out of our annual celebration of Empress Menen was that we need to name her birthday Black Mother's Day in Chicago. That came from the people, you know, because she was just so royal, and she provides just a very clean example of how you live with dignity and royalty on an international stage, right? Not just national. She gives us that international power boost. You know what I'm saying? How we speak to media, how we present ourselves in the international press. It's all right there in her life. And so the book is like a nice look. It's a beginner's guide, really, to falling in love with the Empress.
Wow. Talk about, wait a minute, Black history. See, what I love about this is, you know, when you think Black history, you be like, Martin Luther King,
Right.
Rosa Parks. You know, stop playing. Y'all act like we were only alive then. No, she said international flavor. And I love the consciousness of, like you said, the 30s and 40s. It's a lot that was happening at that time,
Right.
consciousness wise. And I see we didn't have the internet or this and that where you had these images and ideas overwhelming you with their viewpoints. So people, to me, can take in the real experiences. And I love that. And I love that you chose this. And I love that you traveled and that you were inspired to do this specifically on Eppertsman. And I love it. I'm getting ready to go add a doctor to Asante Wawadi. Talk about that for 1 minute. Just what's that about, doctor Asante Wawadi?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a professor of history, and I've taught across the city at City Colleges of Chicago, Concordia, and now at DePaul. But it's sometimes really painful for me to look out into my audience, and no, I don't have any hard feelings against my students, but sometimes I have a class that will be 70% white. And but I'm like, this is the message for us. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to empower us. You know, like my mentor said, Black history was supposed to revolutionize the university. So yeah, I'm like, when do I get to connect with you all? You know, I want a room that's 70% Black, you know. So I had to create that. And that is how we get Empress Menen Day in Chicago, because I wanted to talk to Black people about this history that really matters. And I was right in feeling that they would come. Like, people like, history, who would come out? No, they love it. They want to hear about themselves. Yeah.
They love it. I watched you at my book fair this summer, and I watched the people walking away with the book, and I loved seeing that. Like, who bought it, who had it. And so, you guys, we are going to rock some more with Dr. Asante Wawadi. You see that? I put the doctor up there.
Right.
And don't
Right.
let it be known, baby. And so, people, you'll be able, I'm going to show the book one more again, because this book is so important. And it teaches, I think, if you are dealing with a young girl, learn about a real deal queen.
Right.
We be saying queen, but no, what about a real deal queen? She got a crown on. So this is in our lifetimes that we have people that still were able to experience her. And let's continue to experience her. So I thank you so much for coming on this morning. They are going to come meet you big
Okay.
time on Sunday. So I see you on Sunday. Be ready.
All
It's going
right.
to be very exciting, and
Yes.
I look forward to it. Mwah. Appreciate you. Let me
Thank
ask a
you.
question. You let me put this website up real quick, y'all. Stop playing. She got a website, Menon Chronicles. You
That's
can go to the website and they can buy the book there now, right?
the camp. Hmm.
Buy the book now and then
Right.
bring it to the web to the doggone event and
Right.
get it signed. That's what my whole thing is, giving you stage as a writer. So this is important, baby. I think that, hey, we need to let them know in Ethiopia, you better peep this sister in Chicago who's
That's
doing
right.
this work. So we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to let them see this and promote that on some of their pages on Facebook, put it in Ethiopian, let it be known. So thank you so much for being here, beautiful lady. Mwah.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you on
I
Sunday.
love you. I love you as a woman.
I love
Not
you.
just high school sword. You. All right, baby. I'll see you on Sunday.
Okay.
Peace. All right now. Oh, I just love this day, y'all. Look at all of the energy. We are about to round out the day. I'm bringing on a sister. She's so special to me. Lord have mercy. I think what I love most about her is that her energy is always mellow. Now let me put up this comment before we start. It says, every time I hear from a guest, I learn, learn, and learn. Can't wait for the history book fair. Aha. Thank you to Barbara. We love you. So I'm bringing on this next sister, y'all, because she is the reason for real that there is a Black History Book Fair. Because I really was like, oh, well, whatever. I got to raise money. And she was like, we need a Black History Book Fair. And I was like, okay, what? You want to do it or you want me to help do it? She was like, no, we do it. And I was like, okay, Hercules, Hercules. Let me bring on my girl, Michelle Renee. Michelle Renee. What's up, baby? You on mute, baby. We want to hear that voice. You better bring it on, honey. Bring on it.
Good
Come
morning, good
on.
morning, good morning.
You look fabulous. I know you're going
Oh,
to work. Look, if you
yes,
was my
I
teacher,
am.
I'd be like, oh, she's gorgeous. Look at
Thank
her.
you, thank you, thank
So
you, thank you.
let me just say thank you for having the idea of the Black History Book Fair. I know we've done it before,
Yeah.
but doing it in a new unit of time for real came from your inspiration.
Oh,
And so
hallelujah.
I jumped on. I know how to do it. So, okay, I'll do it. But you really
Yeah.
have been this fire underneath me. So I
Oh, that's
appreciate
awesome.
that. Yeah, no doubt. And so, look, my girl Yanaya said, "What's up, sis?" She up there. And then she also said about the previous, I want to learn more about the Ethiopian sister. I know that's
Yeah,
right. Now,
yeah.
here's the deal. This Black History Book Fair, and I'm going to bring up your title so they already know. Nah, boo. She is not only an author, she is an educator, and she is a sponsor of our
Mm,
event. So
all
talk a
right.
little bit about your stuff, honey, because you got a lot on the table. I'm gonna bring up a little bit, talk a little bit about what we gonna see here. Come on with it. Lessons from our foremothers, and then the truth twins. What we looking at? What's the ideology behind your work?
So much of what I do is organic. I plan it once I see a need. And
Mm,
so I read biblical history. I
okay.
love history, and I understand that the Bible is Black history. And there
Yes.
are so many Black people all over the world whose children read the Bible because of their parents, but they don't see themselves in the book. And like one of your other guests this morning said, I think he was the gentleman who teaches Mandarin. It is important that young people see themselves in the literature that they are reading. So with the Truth Twins, they are created from my twins. My twins are 31. When they were 9, they had a lot of questions. They could answer a lot of questions. So I thought to use them, and that looks like them too, to create Bible stories, and the characters in the Bible stories look like them, look like our young people. It's important for people to see themselves in the literature. And that book
Mm,
next to it, on the left of it,
mm-hmm.
Lesson from Our Foremothers, that is another thing. Women don't usually see themselves in the Bible either. And
Wow.
I know that the Bible is a history book, and a literature book. So I wanted to create something where young women can see themselves in that book. So I created Lesson from Our Foremothers, which, by the way, will not be released until next month.
Okay.
Twins are available this month.
Got
So
you.
Lessons from Our Foremothers is about the many Black women in the scripture. I count so far, I found 60. And
Woo!
so in that book, I give a detailed examination of who they were, whether they're nameless or not. There are many women in the Bible that are nameless, but they did great things. So I bring those out, and then there is a portion of it where you reflect on what you can learn from her life. Those are those two books. And in the
Yama.
Truth Twins, that it's a series of 3. I have an illustration book for young people ages 4 through 7. I have an activity book where there is coloring and puzzles and word plays and all of that. And then in the chapter book for ages 9 through 12 for new readers to build their skills.
Wow. Y'all playing. Look at the quality. Look at the quality. We got another comment. Because of you, my sister, we see ourselves. Thank you for your vision. Continued success. Big time. Look, she gonna be right there as soon as you come into the book fair. Her table gonna be right there, boop, with all her books. So be ready to meet my girl Michelle Renee. She is a sponsor. Thank you so much for really supporting us and making this a reality. You've been great to work with. I'm gonna have to find some other things, some other reasons for you to work with me, because you are thorough. Have a dynamic day and
Thank you so
enjoy.
much. Bye,
See you
everyone.
on Sunday for sure.
All
I
right.
know I'll see you before then, but
Yes.
y'all come see her at the Black History Book Fair. No doubt about it. All right.
Thanks.
Peace. All right, y'all. Here we go. We are closing the show, baby. We closing. But I would be remiss if I ain't talk about my own self. I am an author too. What? Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. I don't even know how many I have, y'all, but I wrote a book as a result of having a stroke in 2024, a stroke and a seizure. And that healing process was such that, what? Nobody is real. People were there to help me. And I'm going to say thank you to you guys because y'all raised money for me when I was in the hospital. I looked so terrible. Y'all raised money for me tremendously. That really helped me get through that moment and handle all those bills and everything while I was sick. But I wrote a book, y'all. I was told by the creator to write. I had to choose to feel better because I did have to choose. Look at this. That's cucumber juice. I'm drinking my cucumber juice and all the things. And then, of course, my first book, Beating Black Kids, will also be there. It's a book about not beating children to discipline them because what? That's what we got to do. Be better. Now, stop playing. Now, look, my girl said here, be there, don't be square. Soulful Chicago Book Fair. Thank you, my girl, Yanaya. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful show, y'all. Let me just take this away, come back and say thank you so much for tuning in to the Gathering of the Griots. We'll be here again next Tuesday for the after party. Oh, it's an after party. So we'll find out what happened at the book fair and get people's feedback and just meet some more authors. Why not? And I say thank you for joining in today. I love you. Peace. I would say don't go nowhere, but you need to go to work. Go somewhere. But us take it on out. Female Solution.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, zhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.